The last secret agent man.
Okay, hello, welcome to the stream. Riddled with technical issues, but it's working. If anybody streams MoCap, don't start your Rococo Studio first, because it'll destroy your OBS. Welcome to the Ginger Bear House stream, where you get hot babes, Lamborghinis, ninja motorcycles with machine guns and neon signs. It's Synthwave, Blender, and Chill with the Ginger Bear. Hello. It is I. What up? What up? Slight adjustment. There we go. Yeah. Get my chat out in front. I should get one or two people chatting tonight. I don't know if I can handle all the content. There we go. All right, what's up, everyone? Sorry I didn't stream last week. Had some technical issues with the motion capture suit. They decided to update the firmware and the studio software, none of which work together, and some still don't work together. Shout out to the flight attendants sitting couch in Las Vegas airport right now. Hello, including my wife. And also, I've got my friend here with me, Mr. Miyagi. He's rude. He won't look. Poo poo pee pee. Wee! Miyagi. 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 Mr. Miyagi. He's rude. He won't look at us. Anyway, on with the stream. Here we go. All right, so we left off last week. Oh, just to say, too, I don't want to stream tonight because I want to look at cool art, but I'm going to do it. But I got this in the mail today. Fellow comic book fiends like me, if you know Daniel Warren Johnson and Beta Ray Bill, look at that. This thing is beautiful. It came today, and it sat in the rain for an hour and a half outside the front door. But yet it didn't get wet, so thanks Amazon for leaving it in the rain, but also thanks for packaging it in packaging that won't soak through. But yeah, if you like Beta Ray Bill, Thor, Daniel Warren Johnson, I highly recommend this book. I mean, look at this shit. I cuss on here. Don't invite the kids. Look at that. That's cool. That's cool. That's the end of show and tell, though. All right. Hey, flight attendants. Hey. All right. So tonight we are going to get our man we've been working on the last couple of weeks. The guy, the noodle bar chef with the blue dreads. We're going to put some motion capture on him. And Let's just go full screw. Oh, wait, it's Synthwave and chill, so we got to start with that. Let's get that going. Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. See, as you can see, Prime Thanatos, he's a great source for Synthwave, especially because he's got what we like here at the Ginger Bear stream. Hot babes, Lambos, ninja motorcycles with machine guns and neon signs. Yeah. And poo-poo and pee-pee and boobies. All right. That's going to play. I hope you like it. Hopefully it's not too loud for everybody. I think I've got it down. Maybe you can't hear it right now. I don't think you can even hear it right now. Let's see. Sorry, one more thing here. There we go. Now you can hear it. How about that? What's up, Nino? Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna see Nino in person tomorrow. And now I'm busted because I didn't answer back the text yet. I just saw it a little bit ago. Bacon and a knife. All right, can you all hear the music now? Yeah, it looks like it's going through. All right, hopefully it's not too loud. All right, as we got up here, we have the Rococo Studio Legacy. As I've mentioned, oh, hot knife, yeah. Like a hot knife through warm butter. So I'm using Rococo Studio Legacy. I showed you guys last week, I have a Rococo motion capture suit. And I've had it a couple years now. And one of the technical issues I found, oh, thank you, Nikki. That's my wife. Hey, not to call you out, but hey. And yeah, the motion capture suit updated the firmware. It wasn't connecting to my Wi-Fi. And they updated the studio software in the last couple months since I've been using it. And the new studio software does not work very well with the motion capture suit. It like works in slow motion. It floats and hovers around. I don't know. It was such a pain in the butt. So I had to give that up, put the Legacy back on, and re-record all the motion capture I'd done already, which I did last night. And I recorded it some, but I don't have it ready to present because some of it's embarrassing. So one of these days I'll show you some clips of it, but not now because I look ridiculous. But as you can see here, I have some MoCap for our chef. This is what it looks like when it comes into Rococo. There we go. It still needs a little cleanup, which we'll do here, but yeah, he's kind of coming up and waving welcome to the guy who's walking up to eat there, and he's going to stand there and say, hey, I want you, what do you want to order? And then he's going to walk back. And if anyone wants to see who I'm imitating here with my acting, you can get on YouTube and look up an old show called Friday from the 70s. And there was a guy called the Rastafarian Chef. And the way he walked around was pretty funny. So, but I don't have any talking in my short, so you won't hear him talk. So now let's get into a little cleanup. I already started cleaning it up so we don't spend all night on it here, but get us a little better on camera. There we go. All right. As you can see here, the first thing we have here is the locomotion. The green and the blue here coincides with, if I turn on the gizmos, where his feet touch the ground. So down here, Wherever there's green or blue is where his feet are planted on the ground. And as you do it, you can reprocess and it'll clean it up. All right. So let's just go through here and do the last bit. I got about halfway through. Yeah, it's not always completely accurate. So what you'll see here is... All right. Looks like he lifts his foot right there. So we'll drag this back. And then he puts it back down there. Same with the blue. Lifts his foot up a little sooner, so we'll drag that back. Then he puts it down a bit sooner. This song is really cheesy right now. I hope it gets better or I'll change the channel. All right. So now both feet are planted, and they're not really moving around, but they're hovering around, but I'll show you what it does here. Let me drag this forward a bit more until he lifts his foot again. Cheese. Cheese. It's my favorite. Cheese. My favorite. That's mouse eating cheese. All right. We're waited to hear. Oh, hang on. Let me keep going. Let me drag out his feet a little more. I don't know why it thinks his foot was lifted that whole time. But as we get through, as we go along, we can process the changes. There. And as you'll see, ah, cool. Thank you. It sounds really loud on my headphones, so I never know. But the levels look okay in there. Let's see. Here. If it's really quiet, you're missing out on a killer guitar solo right now. But there you go. All right. So yeah, now he's sitting a little better. Still floats a bit. I'm not sure why he's doing that. That's driving me crazy. But we can adjust that later. Keep his feet planted more all the way to here. All right, so that's where he lifts his foot. So let me merge these two. We live there. And then he puts his foot right back down there. So we'll drag this forward. This is a little tedious, but compared to, you know, when they have a crew of 4 people on a MoCap stage or something, this is a lot easier and quicker. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. Wherever I set these guides, it's not reflecting real time, but as I go through bit by bit, I'll process it as I go and it'll get cleaner each time. Let's see there. This one's really floaty though. I don't know what was going on here, but drag it to there. Let's see. And process it here again. Okay. I'm going to go over here real quick, see if this makes a difference. We have the locomotion legacy. Let me try just regular locomotion. Process, see what happens. See if it fixes any of that floating. Because even with his feet planted, it shouldn't be hovering like that. There we go, that looks a little better. Yeah, same thing. Turn on the gizmos here. And it still can take a while to finesse all this, but we'll get it. Yeah, right now it's already looking less floaty, so let's see. go. Sorry if I get in the zone and I don't talk a lot while I'm doing this either. I should learn to sing while I work. Alright, quick little step there. Just needs to come back a couple little frames. Yo, thanks for ordering. I'm gonna walk back over here and do something random. Hey, lady, come over here and make his food. I say lady because his waitresses that work at this noodle bar are these. They won't be like this in the short, but you'll see them in a future project. They're a bunch of ladies that are actually secretly assassins that work for him. They all wear purple. And, yeah, they're pretty cool. But that's not part of the story that we're telling. In this one, they just serve Sulungtung and hang out with this dude with his glowy dreads. All right. Yeah, so as you can see too, the way the MoCap suit works with Rococo is you just a nice cover. No, they really are. They're called the I don't have an image of them here, but I designed them actually before I designed him. And they all live in this sort of big city that's like this pocket of underground city, dystopian environment where this rockabilly bar is. But it's hidden underneath this utopian city up above that's all bright and shiny and sunny and beautiful. But down here among the pipes and the grunge is where all the cool people go to hang out. It's not really dystopian where it's a hell on earth. It's just kind of where you get away from the perfect cleanliness and you can put on your casual clothes and party and, I don't know, smoke some weed and other things, because when a society's too perfect, they don't like you to do any drugs either, which, that's no fun. Alright, so the foots are looking pretty good. There's a little bit of crossover with the feet, but I can fix that in iClone later too. And, yeah. No hipsters allowed, though. Only rockabilly people hang out at this place. If you want to see the people that hang out there, you can see on my YouTube channel, I have a shot of a guy riding a motorcycle down the city. Gives you a showcase of what the city looks like. Playing a little music from the animated short I'm working on. And it shows you what one of the main rockabilly characters look like. And that's kind of the main people that hang out down there. There's a great big rockabilly club that plays techno rockabilly. I think this is close enough. Process one more time here. And then there's some additional filters you can put on too. So, like we got your drift fix. So after you get these main ones, the feet, these are the main stuff you want to get cleaned up. And once you get it as close as you can, then you can go in here and hit this little magic wand, playback filters. All right, drift fix. Let's turn that on first and see what happens. Process changes. There we go. Let's play through. There's still the slightest bit of drift on his feet, but it's mostly gone now, which is nice. So yeah, if anyone knows me, you can just picture me walking around like this in my skin-tight motion capture suit last night. Alright. So that looks pretty good. He's got a little bit of knee popping though too. You can see like right here. Oh, before we do that too, we don't need this whole thing. So the way the motion capture suit works is you can stand in front of your computer. You don't need any sensors or cameras. It's all has its own built-in sensors and they're all magnetic. So when you get it put on, you just stand in a straight pose and you hit this button up here that's a calibration pose, and it's kind of like making a T pose of you in the suit. And then when you're ready, you hit this button here, which would be enabled if I wasn't working on a scene, and it'll record your motion capture walking around. You can walk around the house, do whatever you want, and it records, and then when you're done, you just go clean it up. But the beginning and end is always you hitting record right here, leaning on my desk, hit record, and then I step back and get in position, and then here we go, then I act out the part. Hey man, yo, come here. Come eat here at my bar. Hey, welcome. So, what you gonna have? Let me sway my hips. Oh, is that what you want? That sounds great. All right, let me get it for you. Hey, ladies, come serve this man. All right, I'm gonna walk over here and do something. And then I gotta walk back and turn off the recording right there. So we don't need all that. Let's get rid of that to where I get in position and start walking. And if you just hold shift and drag, you can make your little segment here. And you can make multiple segments in here, and this is just what you're exporting. So walk through to where it ends, to right about that last step. That's probably good. And the segment right there. All right. So then, as I'd mentioned, there was a bit of knee popping. Let's see if that happens in here. Yeah, all right, so let's see. Hang on, bear with me here. Yeah, right there. But the thing is, we can go over here and we've got our knee pop smoothing. Turn that on, see if it does anything by default. But what it says here, all right, it has these little these are basically like curves like you'd have in animation, and you can drag them up and down if you want to adjust them. But and they basically represent height in the scene. So like right here, we could do knee pop smoothing. We could bring everything down globally. Oopsie. See if it fixes it. There we go. Just a teeny bit. Process changes. Okay. So it's real minimal, but let's see. It's still kind of there. That might be easier to fix later in the MoCap, though, for that really big hip sway. But it's knee pop when he's smoothing. Let me bring it down a bit more. What it does is it's gonna bring his, yeah, see how it's bringing his leg up a little bit. Whoops. Okay. We've also got some foot IK, which will also help with drift. Let's just turn that on too. That'll help with knee popping and drift. A lot of the defaults will just fix it all automatically, which is nice. Yeah, so there's a little bit of knee popping. Let me fix that. Yeah, if you have him drifting around your scene too, aside from his feet drifting, sometimes his back and forth walking can drift, and you can adjust that path here, which just by dragging these, which I don't need to do because he's covering the space fine. So okay, it's real minimal changes. Knee popping's still a bit weird, but what'll be easier is to go in the cleanup in iClone and just bring his waist down like 5% globally through the whole thing. All right, so let me process these changes. This should be close enough here. Okay. So one of the problems I had, that another technical issue that drives me nuts with this, I mean, the Rococo's cool, Their software is pretty cool, the cleanup and the suit, especially for a budget, because the suit costs less than a quarter of what the lowest level Incense motion capture suit is, which is the closest you'll get to consumer level, and those start at about 12 to 15 grand, I think. And Rococo suit without the hand gloves they start at, I think, 2,500 now. So I think it was 2,000 when I spent, I think, 3,000 total with taxes when I bought it. So, and yeah, it should be hands on his hips. We'll figure that out later. That looks ridiculous. So yeah, but it's clunky, and I use iClone to import the motion capture and export it to Blender, and it's by Reallusion. And Reallusion has some really cool stuff too, but both that and Rococo also are just got some weird clunky stuff going on that just really it drives me crazy and pisses me off sometimes. Like one thing they have here is well, here, so what we're gonna send it over to is this. This is iClone 8. And what's cool is this is from my scene, the Sulungtung bar, aka Noodle Bar homage to Blade Runner. And this is where he works. The guy in the scene that we're working on walks up to this seat here and sits down. And to order some new, he walks up across the screen and sits down to eat. And while he's there, this guy will walk over and wave him in to eat. So we can bring that in here, and this is our character we're animating without his dreads, of course. But for now, let's hide this so we just have him. Hi, Meowgie. Somebody just ate, and he's very happy. Hello, Meowgie. Hello. Back to business. All right, so now that we've got, so what you can usually do is they have a plugin called Motion Live, which is usually pretty cool. I'm not going to do it today, but it has a live face motion capture thing, which you can use facial motion capture with your phone, which works really well. Which I'll probably add. I could do it another stream maybe once I get this guy in here and animated, then I can do another motion layer pass using the iPhone to give him expressions. But for now, we're just gonna have him do his walking motions, and what it usually has is a live stream from the Rococo software here that you can go over here to start a live stream, and it'll send it over to here, and you enable it. You can actually turn it on, and it'll link up to your character here. Yeah, see, that's what I keep getting. For some reason it won't connect, and even when it does, it won't record on the character. I've done it before, but same thing. Since they updated some of the firmware and software, all of a sudden it's the exact same thing I've done 8,000 times isn't working. So got to spend another afternoon troubleshooting that. But for now, we don't have to rely on that. That's just kind of a convenient way to transfer animation without saving out FBX files. But for now, we are going to export it manually using the exporter, which works just fine. All right, so it names it here the Chef Welcome segment because the capture is called Chef Welcome, and this is the first segment down here. I'm going to do it as an FBX file. I only need the skeleton. You can do it as a binary. I just do the defaults here. Binary FBX 2016 as Rococo Newton. You can do it as Mixamo or Maya Human IK if you're using Maya. Mixamo could work sometimes if you're using other custom rigs in Blender that have retargeting based on the Mixamo skeleton. But here we're using Rococo, of course, and I'm going to set my frames per second to 24 because that's what my scene is. And I already have my path set up here for my Mixamo. So this is where it'll be. So as I hit export, it's going to go through and process it, just like it's processing the filters again. All right, and there it is. Shelf welcome default segment. So that's what we want. Copy that path. So now we go over here and we're going to import the motion. Oh, come on. Of course, now it's not going to let me. Turn this off. Yes. All right. Oh, hang on. Let me reload this. I had already tested it, so let me reset the scene. All right, so here we go. Blank guy. Dang it. Hang on. Gotta reopen it. Of course, now it's not going to work. Open iClone. Open. Just going to wait a sec here. Actually, I'll show you what we can do here that's kind of cool. Opening up character creator as well. So we don't need Rococo now. Let me close that. All right, so the character was originally created in character creator, and one cool thing it has, and why I like to use it, is, as I showed in the last stream, you can use your custom textures. It has a fully rigged character that you can modify, and you can even use ZBrush. But then also when your character's ready to go, well, let's get rid of these. And this. Just take the character and his shoes. And then if you go up here, oops, come on, there we go. Up here it has this little IC, send to iClone. And there we go. Now it's in iClone. This is the default character. And now we can import our external motion. So then we go here. It already went to the folder where we want it. The segment. Let's see, will it load it? I'm not going to wait for that. It'll show you a preview sometimes of the motion, but it takes forever. So let's just open it. Rococo video. Change this to 24 frames per second, or sample per second. Actually, sample per second. Yeah, let's do 24. I don't know. Not sure if that matters, but we'll find out. Okay. Convert all. There we go. There he is. Well, it's retargeting, so there's a little bit of weirdness, but it's mostly there. And that's just the kind of stuff we got to clean up in here. But then what's cool is once it's cleaned up in here, we bring it in Blender and we don't have to do anything except import it. So, and also once it's in here, save this real quick. Okay. Bear with me one sec. I want to see if I can get back to the one with the noodle bar in it. For some reason it keeps graying out my motion import, but let's see if it'll let me do it here. There we go. All right. Now it's letting me do it. Convert all. Yeah, the Rococo stuff is a good quick cleanup for a lot of like foot drift and stuff, but if you want to get specific, like moving, adding keys to like clean up arms and intersecting, it doesn't really have tools for that, and that's what you can do in here. Sort of like Motion Builder. Okay, zoom out. So down here, here's the take for it all. All right. His boots are ridiculous too. You're never going to see him in the scene though, so it doesn't matter. And they're just solid black in the scene. So, all right, it's on there. And the thing that's cool is we have his... Yeah, I like Motion Builder, but I like this because it works directly with Rococo and Blender, and I'm using the rigs from this. So Motion Builder is just an extra step, and then I have to... I would have to change the rig and do retargeting, which I could do, but this is easier than retargeting, which I'll show you when I bring it into Blender. The rig I'm using here is the same rig as I have in the scene, so all I have to do is import the character, and it saves his animation as a clip, and then I can click on another character and add that clip to him, almost like it's just an animation clip, almost like a loop you'd have in music software, and it just works. It pops right on. You don't have to do any retargeting or anything, and that's what I like. So, but if you were looking for something streamlined and best for overall motion capture cleanup, Motion Builder is definitely the best out of these two. But I just like this because it works directly with Character Creator, and it imports directly into Blender really well. And I also have the facial motion capture plugin that I use with this too, which I'll have to show sometime. Okay. Let's get all right. So yeah, here we are. This is where he's at. So as he's walking through, so clearly the first thing is, select our guy here. He's we got to rotate him around because he's looking the wrong way. He should be looking out towards us at this point. So the way we start working on it is we go over to here, edit motion layer. This keeps getting an error about spring effects, but don't worry about that because you don't have to worry. Don't have to change it. It'll still work. Okay. Where is his base here? There we go. Why is that keeping his... Hang on, I gotta hide this. We'll see how I do here. I haven't... Oh. Okay. There we go. Rotate him around. There. Now. Yeah, here we go. All right, so we get him in. Oops. Get him into position. He's going to be doing that right about here. There we go. All right. He's gonna be walking along. Yo. He's gonna turn right here. Hey, come on in. Let's eat. Have a seat right there. All right. What are you ordering? Oh yeah? That? That sounds great. Let's get that for you. All right. Let's walk over here and do something random. Hey. All right. All right, so that looks like it's pretty good to go. I just had to do some little adjustments on his global route here to get his rotations correctly because everything was turned 90 degrees. But that looks like it's working now. Okay. Well, actually, there's no voiceover to do it because there's going to be music playing. There's actually no dialogue in the scene. It's all body language. So don't have to worry about voiceover. Okay. So now I'm going to hide this Salungtung here. So the thing is, I kind of faked it a little bit so his feet might drift a bit, but I'm not going to worry about it because you'll never see him. So that's one advantage about putting him in the scene here is you can kind of save some time without having to clean up every bone on the entire character. Mostly what we're going to have to clean up, his thighs and his hips all look okay. We just have to fix his shoulders, which one thing I've noticed about between Rococo to this, it always hunches their shoulders, so that's the first change I'll do. That's pretty much a global change. And then yeah, just a little bit of shoulder rotation for his arms intersecting with his body. So let's get started with that. For now, I'm going to turn this off though. So yeah. Yeah, you see him slide a little bit, but who cares? It doesn't really matter. There's actually cleanup tools for that in here too, where you can actually click and make everything sort of not drift from wherever his right foot or his left foot is. Just like Motion Builder has, you can pick based on his hips or his feet, and it'll sort of align the whole motion to go with that. But it's not really going to be necessary for this one, so let's just focus on his body so that we aren't here all night getting it. Because I want to do a quick cleanup on this and export it into Blender so you can see it working with his hair dynamics. All right, and just to save memory, let me close this. Okay, so let's get back over here to edit the motion layer. All right. Find it particularly bad. There we go. God, his arms look weird. Okay. There we go. Edit motion layer. All right, and there we go. We got all his joints here to start adjusting. And you see the timeline down here. It'll start laying the keys. So yeah, start with this shoulder. Let's bring it down. Rotate it out. Bring that down. Rotate it out. Oops, wrong way. There we go. I'm gonna rotate it inwards a little bit. Might be a little strong. There we go. Okay. And you can see here, here's the keys for my motion layer as I'm setting them here. Okay, so. Cool. All right, so those look pretty good till there, and then here. That looks a little weird, so let's do a little rotation. Clean that up. It's funny you're watching this, Nino, because we can talk shop tomorrow, because people don't know Nino has a motion capture studio too, which we'll chat tomorrow, but I assume you're probably using incense or accents suits, maybe. Sure. Oops, all right. You're making a list. Cool. And yes, as you mentioned, post 8 p.m. after BBB is works for me. So, but we'll text later. Oh yeah, this is the other thing with the knee popping I wanted to fix. Of course, we won't see it because, but one thing that's easier is I'll just bring a kind of global lowering of it here, and that bends his knees a bit, and that'll basically solve all of it throughout. Maybe have him stand up a little more straight as he walks away. Hey. Gets all tall. Oh yeah, so now he puts his hand on his hips, but I made those shoulder changes, so I'll have to fix it here, so... And just for tonight too, like I said, the Rococo gets you like 75% there, and then you could do a lot of cleanup stuff here and spend a while to make it really nice, which I probably won't do all tonight because I don't want to spend all night cleaning MoCap on the screen. I just want to get it good enough that we can kind of bring it in the scene and make it look kind of neat, and then offline I might spend a little more time doing a full cleanup for a final. But yeah. Optitrack. Okay, I don't even know Optitrack that well, so gonna bend his arms in a little bit more. There. Got a little more femme with his hand on his hips. Yeah. Hey girl. Hi. Really? Is that what you want? You want that? Oh my god. Okay. Just gonna adjust its hand to stay a little bit more in, but I'll probably leave it there for now. A little bit drifty, but you know, this is just for fun, so. There we go. So, that's what you want? Huh. We can do that. Of course. Bring it in. Yeah, I know, right? And now, the noodles are ordered. What happens next will blow your mind. Let's dance into the music now. Of course, this is probably out of sync because it's probably slightly delayed for me, but let's see. Alright. He's gonna put his arms down. Okay. Yeah, another thing I've had since day one with Rococo that drives me crazy is there's always one of the thumbs that are messed up. And this is in my music video that I made too. Well, I shouldn't point that out because then everyone will notice it, but it drives me freaking crazy. Nice. Yeah, I'll import some glow sticks and put them in here. Well, that's got to wait for Blender because Blender has the bloom effect, so things really glow. All right. I think. Yeah, just kind of fix his bowed knees. Maybe bring his. Oh yeah, it happens to you too. Okay, so it's not just a Rococo thing. I mean, I'll be honest, other than the Rococo, I'm not super experienced with motion capture suits and stuff. I worked at Digital Domain for a little while, and they had the big motion capture stages there that they did all the work for Jungle Book, for example. But but I didn't really do anything with the motion capture suits. I went in there and used an InterSense camera for a while to do some virtual camera work. And some other people wore suits, but they had a whole team of people that do the cleanup too, so I never really touched any of that. I went in and I did some camera work, and they did some motion capture, and then they exported the cleaned up motion capture for us to use in previs. Yeah, just a little film called Jungle Book. It's by an up-and-coming studio. It's started by a bunch of animators, and like one particular animator called Disney. Not sure if people have heard of them. They're pretty... I think they got a good future, though. They're very pro-union, as you'll learn, especially for animators. I shouldn't say that. Then I'll never get hired again. It sounds obscure, yeah. I have a beef with Disney right now, actually, because one of my favorite things I've ever wanted to do is Mark Millar's comic book Starlight, and that's what started my Blender journey to begin with. I was going to do an animated short for it. I even showed it to Mark Millar himself. If anyone doesn't know, Mark Millar is the creator of Kick-Ass and the Kingsman series, and he has a whole Netflix thing going on now. And I was putting together an animated series pitch to show him for his Netflix there, because that's one of my favorite comic books of all time, and it looks so cool. And they bought the rights at Netflix to do all his shows that hadn't been made already, which was just Kick-Ass and Kingsman. So it seemed like fair game, perfect timing. I showed it to him on Twitter, and he said it looked great, looked awesome, so could have been a really good start to something amazing. And then he followed up with his next reply saying, unfortunately, that one particular project, Disney has the rights to. So I'm like, God damn it. And they've been sitting on it for years, and who knows if they'll ever do anything with it. But they're sitting on it, and there's no way you're ever going to get it from them. So, yeah, who knows. But the style I had for it looked a lot like the comic book, and it would have been awesome. All right, so I think... Turn off edit motion. Oh, wait. This... Turn this back on. This weird arm here. Guess it's good to dolly around the characters too and make sure nothing's too screwy, because that looks terrible. Alright. So yeah, I'll go in later and I'll make sure the fingers clasp around his hips and stuff too. See if I can bring it up here. They have okay, turn that off. They've got some nice tools in here too, where you can just import hand poses and facial poses later on too. Shoot. One more little tweak. In there, almost ready to go. It's always tough to get like contact with objects like this when the body's moving around with motion capture. It's very particular and sensitive. All right. Okay, I think that's gonna work good enough for now. Like I said, this isn't a MoCap cleanup stream of like 8 hours, so just get it good enough that you can show you something cool without it like just popping all over the place. So yeah, here we go. We got our dude. Oh, dang it. I gotta fix his shoulder. Okay, I'll fix his shoulders at the start there too. Yeah, teams of people do that. So I have little tricks I'll do too. There's only a couple shots in particular that this will be a problem, and like some of it I'll just fix in Blender too. Some of it I'll fix in here, and some of it I can get away with because I can bake the keys, and I bake it on 3s and 4s too. So, but yeah, this is stuff I learn as I go along too. I'm like, man, don't put hands on hips if you want to save yourself some time. I had another one too with a guy grabbing a mace and swinging it forward in a full circle and landing it on his shoulder and then turning, and that big 360 motion of this mallet seems like it'd be really easy because it's a very linear spin. But you want to talk about gimbal lock nightmare. So okay, sorry, one more tweak and then we're done. The noodle bar chef here. Edit motion layer one more time, because yeah, we adjusted the shoulders here. This is the first key we have, and they look here good here, but then it messed up some of the shoulder rotation for this earlier stuff. So there we go. Oops. All right. Let's see how that looks. Hey, oh, there's a little bit of intersection with the hand. All right, this might be good. Hey, he is sliding a bit there, but that'll be on the root control. I don't know if I really care, and I can clean it up later. There's actually going to be a whole row of people sitting here too, so you might not even notice it later. That's the kind of stuff that I don't want to spend forever cleaning it up now, because I might not need to kind of get it in scene. And you'll see it's so easy to transfer the animation once it's done in here that if it doesn't quite work, it's not a big deal to come back here and clean it. One sec, gotta drink some water. I'm getting hoarse. All right. Oh, also, don't do what I do on streams, which I always do, and forget to save. I haven't saved this entire time. In my everyday life, I actually am obsessive. I'm very obsessive about versioning up and saving. Like every 10 minutes, I rarely lose work, but whenever I'm on stream, I just completely forget, and I'll go the whole stream and not save once. So if it crashed, I just would lose the whole thing I did the entire stream. So thankfully I remembered there. All right. So now we've got this. Yeah, this is all saved, and we can go and export now. Oh, let me turn off this motion layer. Okay. I'm just saving the motion clip separate too, just in case. All right, so now we can go and export this guy. Actually, let me turn this stuff off, just make sure I don't accidentally export it. This pose is hilarious. Strutting with those heel boots. All right, export FBX, Blender. Project is set to 24 frames per second already. I'm gonna do a range of 0 to 470. And this I just all leave default because I use my own textures. None of this stuff matters. It doesn't let you export without the geo, like just the skeleton, but that's really all I'm using. So, export. Also, in case they're still listening, to the flight attendants sitting couch in Vegas, I would like to invite all my future listeners that might come by and watch the replay, and whoever's watching now, to invoke the spirits to bring a flight for these flight attendants so they can have a nice long flight and a really cool layover in a nice fancy hotel in some cool city. I hope so. And then if anyone's dated someone who's a flight attendant, you'll know what I mean with couch. They're basically on call, waiting to take a flight at any moment. And then you fly a few hours, and then they put you up in a really nice hotel with a nice bathtub and a big room and a nice view. All free as an employee. The secrets of flight attendants. Okay, this is Noodle Bar Chef. All right, I'm going to save it here. Chef, welcome to... Yes. Flight gods. That's right. Although I don't think any of them use Blender, so I'm sure mostly tuned out by now. All right, let's see. Now that we got this, minimize this. Let's open some Blender. First, this music is the worst right now. Let's change it up. We go. Yeah. Lo-Fi Girl and her new Synthwave channel. This is much better. Better working music. Alright. So, for the new people here that didn't see it, or for the people that were here before, here's what we're going to be working with. This is the guy I've been working on the last couple weeks. If you can see, let's see. You won't see Blender for a sec, but just to show you the concept art I had, I was making this guy. Oh yeah, you'll still see Blender there. I was making this guy. This is the concept art, and we made him. We brought him out of Character Creator. We textured him, and the tough part was getting this hair to be dynamic, but it's working now. Oopsie. There we go. One problem I have is I work in Maya all day, and then I try to use my Maya hotkeys in Blender, and it screws up, and then I get used to using the Blender hotkeys, and then I go to work in the morning and use my Blender hotkeys in Maya all the first half of the day. So to show you what I got here, the dreads here each have these bones in them, and the bones I'm using, let me go to select the joint, there we go, go into pose mode. So all the green ones, I'm using a plugin called, where is it, Bone Dynamics Pro, where you can select them and add bone dynamics, and what it does is it makes them sort of fall naturally like that. There's a little bit of jitter, which that's part of the collision thing, but that's something, once it's done, you can bake the bones, and then it'll be easier to clean up there, because then I can just smooth keys or delete them. So I'm not going to worry about messing with dynamic settings right now to clean up that jitter. So yeah, and the thing that's cool is, go back to the textured mode here. See, like I was saying with the glow sticks, the Blender bloom, which is so awesome, the intensity, yeah, get him really glowing. So, and I gave him his goggles too. Let's see, all right. So yeah, if I go back to the beginning, hit play, there they go. If I select his head joint, whoops, let's see. I can see through, where's his head joint? There it is. So just to kind of show you how it works real quick. Gonna set a rotation key here. Go a few frames. Turn his head there. Oops. Turn his head there. I don't need to see through. Turn that off. There we go. Set a key. Alright, so you turn his head there. And then maybe he'll kind of look up over there. And then we'll have him go back to normal, just to see what it does. Okay, I go back to the beginning. And what it's basically doing, it's using some extra stuff behind the scenes, but I think it's basically using hair dynamics through the bones and the hair to and so if you want to have the bones not fall through the face and everything, then you can go and create a collision for it the same way you would for any dynamics, which I have here, this sphere, so you can kind of see here. Oh, let me turn off that bloom. 1 sec. There you go. I just have this real simple geo, and that's what it's colliding with, and it's just parented to his head. We don't want to render that, so I turn it off. But then, and later, depending on his motions, the hairs aren't real long, so sometimes you don't really see them intersect with the shoulders, but I'll do it per shot where I'll add in some geo to not intersect with his shoulders if I need to as well. But I'm not thinking I'm going to need that much, especially the type of shots he's in. He's more of a background character, so I really probably don't need to put so much work into him, but it's cool. I'm just learning. My whole process with Blender is learning as I go. That's been the process with this entire animated short I've been working on, and partly why it's taken me so long. I started working on it when I started learning Blender, and a couple years later I'm still working on it, but it's a 7.5 minute animated short, so, and I'm probably about 60% done with it. So yeah, hit play, you'll see how the hair, let me turn this bones off so you can see it natural. There you go. Yeah. And so they hang pretty naturally. That's okay. I appreciate the support, though. Thank you, Nikki. My loyal wife giving me a viewer with their friends. They all have a crew room, and they have to hang out in the Las Vegas airport in the Frontier Airlines crew room. And if they get a call for a flight at any time, they have, I think, 10 minutes to, they're all dressed for work and packed. So they have, if they get a call for a flight, they have to run to the terminal within like 10 minutes and get on the flight, and then they work the flight. So, but then it's cool because if it's a far enough flight, then they have a layover, and the, yeah, they'll pay for a really fancy hotel, and they're usually pretty nice. So good perks. But it sucks if you sit there all night and then they never call you. So, all right. The plugin is called Bone Dynamics Pro, and you can find it on Blender Market. It's wasn't super expensive. It was like 10-15 bucks or something. But the thing that's cool about it, I'm using it for hair, but you can also use it for dynamics with animation too, which I haven't tested yet, but I want to. So if you have someone sort of jump and land, you could put the bone dynamics, say, on the hip joint, and so when they land, it'll sort of help use some dynamics to do some overshoot to kind of give you some free animation. And you, all this stuff you can bake as well. Once it's done, you can select all the bones and bake the animation here. So, all right. So, but yeah, the problem I had last week is I was having trouble getting the bones to work and to be dynamic and collide with the right thing. So I kind of want to just show everyone how I set it up offline here. What I ended up doing is, hang on, I used to have the bones sticking out straight too, and that was a problem because then they had to fall too far, and there was just way too much motion on them from the start, which was almost pointless. And I was thinking of it sort of like regular hair dynamics are, where everything has to stop straight, just like particles too has to start at 0 and then has to have a run up for it to work, but not necessarily with these. It worked way better to actually pose the dreads already, and that sort of solved all my problems, because I would put some dynamics on it and the hair wouldn't fall far enough, and I'd be like, damn it, why won't it fall all the way down? It's only falling maybe 40% and then wiggling around. So I have it posed, then it only really needs to fall that 30% to be dynamic with all the hairs around it. So lesson learned there, but hey, like I said, learning as you go. So and then they're working, and then for some reason the collision wasn't working, and what I found out is the version of Bone Dynamics Pro I was using was about a year old and about 4 versions of Blender ago, so I updated the plugin and it actually worked straight out of the box. So there's no issues with that. It works just like Particles and Dynamics. You don't have to link it to the bones or anything once you have the dynamics on there. All you do is you can create any object. Like here, if I just let me exit pose mode. If I go on here and just made a mesh like a cube, and then I went over here, oops, to the particle section, and I made this a collision like that. There we go. It counts as a collision layer and it'll interact with the hairs. So and that's basically what I did with the sphere in there for his head, this thing. So all right, so enough of that fun. Let's reset this back to, of course, well, let's get him animating with that scene. So let's import that FBX that we exported. Okay, work, chef welcome. And these all can pretty much be default, bringing in FBX. Just make sure your animation is checked on here. Yeah, don't have to worry about armature. Well, that's the thing. Sometimes you could change your axis and stuff, but I'm using the same armature as I already have on the character in here. So import the FBX. All right, there's our guy. So the cool thing I like about Blender, and them using the same rig, and this is why I like Character Creator, because any character I create for my entire animated short is all using the same bones, and they're all named the same. So any animation I put on one, I can easily transfer to another one. And when I talk about animation clips, this is how it works. So let me go into pose mode here. This is our character. Select all his joints, and if you see on the left side here, I'm in the well, if you go into here, you go to the dope sheet, and then you pick the action editor, and it has this long name here, which is just the default name from the data it brought in. But if you go in here and rename it Chef Welcome, for example, 01 maybe, because you can have multiple, and now it's saved as a clip. You can see here it has each individual bone and all the individual joints, animation keyframes on every joint on every frame. So, there's nothing different about that. You can go into the graph editor and edit it. This is like a typical dope sheet like you'd have in other 3D software like Maya. It works the same way. It just has some extra features, and it has these clips. And once you're in here, you also have, I won't get into it now, sorry to be vague, but they have a thing called nonlinear animation, which is sort of the way you do animation layers in Blender. And it's the same way, everything works like a clip. So here's your clip you have here, and you can edit it. And when you want to add keys on top of it, like an animation layer, you just push the action down into a clip, and then you can do new animation keys on top. But let's undo that for now. So in the action editor, we have our shelf welcome. And the thing is this little arrow drop down here, this is where it lists all your animations, which right now it's just the one. So the thing that's cool though, is now we have him. Actually, one sec too, just to be organized here. I'm going to pick him. Oh shoot, I imported him into my Noodle Chef. Hang on, let me do some organizing here, and let me select him. I'm gonna create a new collection with him, just the imported. There we go. Now he's in his own little box here, and I can turn him off to hide him when I'm done. Actually, I don't need him anymore. So now I go back over to this guy, pick his armature, go into pose mode, select everything. I'm not sure if you have to select everything. You might not even need to go into pose mode. I'm just paranoid and I want to have every bone checked. It's another Maya paranoia. So we don't need this anymore. That. So now that we have it here, as you can see, there's no animation on them, so this is all empty. And I could create a new animation clip, action clip, and start animating if I want. Or I can go in here and select Chef Welcome. And there we go. It's just applied to him. Now, if I go to the beginning and hit play. Yo, there we go. Now his hair is working. He's got all the animation on there. There we go. Those freaking boots are just hilarious. Anyway, all right. They're so ridiculous that I can't take them off now. They have to stay. This is, I think, do a little surgery here. I'm going to go here. Here's the base bone root. I am going to oops. Just gonna delete this. Yeah, that's what I love. And same with him. He'll know. Okay, that's better. I took off that sliding from the beginning. I left the rotation, but I turned off the translation so that he can just can walk up. Hey. Cool. Because with all that sliding across, it was really messing with his hair dynamics. But yeah, now they're working pretty good. So, hey man, yeah. You want that? All right, cool. All right, let me go get it for you. All right, we'll walk over here. Hey. Yeah, his wrist is a little messed up there, but yeah, it's always a balance of how much I clean up in iClone and how much I clean up in Blender. But yeah, depends on each character. So all right, so this is looking pretty good. All right, so see this going here, and uh-oh, sounds like someone's hungry. I don't know if you can hear the cat in the background, but he is meowing up a storm. That's why he's called Mr. Meowgy, because all he does is meow really loud. Chef, welcome. All right. Just gonna save this. All right, so the cool thing is now I can go in here and can you affect the spring? Yeah, you can go back in and you can keep adjusting stuff. Like I said, I barely got it working this first time last time, so I don't want to totally mess it up this time. But you can go in and I'll definitely get more advanced as time goes on and I mess with these, but you can select them here and it still has them all here. And I believe you can adjust the mass, the friction, and I'm pretty sure it will adjust them real time here. But if not, you can just click on this and it'll remove the bone dynamics. Then you can adjust the numbers and then add bone dynamics back onto it again. So that's the two ways you could do it. So if it doesn't just, because I've seen it do it real time, especially on their demo videos, that you can actually just adjust it real time while you're going along. But that worked about 50% of the time for me. So when I was trying to get this just right, I was just removing the bone dynamics and then adding them back on once I'd adjust the numbers. But I will say, I don't know if it's a Blender thing or this plugin, but it's really sensitive too. So if you're doing this, save a lot and often, because every other time you remove the bone dynamics and add them or adjust them, Blender will just turn off. It'll just disappear and crash on you. So, but you know, loads again really fast. So as long as you saved and you didn't screw anything up, you know, each time I'd adjust a bone, I'd version up. So I have like 500 versions of this file. But hey, it would crash and I wouldn't lose anything, so I wouldn't get too frustrated, thankfully. So, all right. So now we got our animation on the guy here. What was I doing? Oh, I was going to link the, let me go to environments. We've got our noodle stand, which I keep calling it noodle stand because that's the easiest to remember, but it's based on a Korean dish called sulungtung, which is one of my favorite dishes ever. And there's a place here in Koreatown in Los Angeles called Hanbat Sulungtung, which is the best Hanbat or the best sulungtung on earth. So that's my personal homage. This is not a ramen stand like in Blade Runner and every other sci-fi trope. This is a sulungtung bar, but it's a beef bone, or it's a bone broth soup with some noodles and beef brisket in it. So it does have noodles technically, just not a ton. And you eat it with gakdeki and kimchi. All right, so turn off active collection. I'm going to bring this in. This is the noodle bar he's standing in. There we go. Link. All right. Turn on the textures. It's going to take a sec to load them all. All right. Actually, you know, if you want to go try it, I would totally be down tomorrow night if you want to try sulungtung. I love it. Maybe we should do that. It's on like 6th and Western, so it's not too out of the way. It's Central K-Town, so I would totally be down with that, though, if you are. I'm pretty sure they're open a little bit late, till like 10 or 11. All right. It's a date. I can't wait. I'm going to go get a makeover. I'm going to do my hair, get a mani-pedi, get my butthole bleached. Oh, wait. I wasn't supposed to say that out loud. Sorry. All right. So this is the sulungtung bar. You can see all the textures. So eventually, too, I'm going to put bone. These are just cards I drew in Photoshop. You only see the back, but these are the other patrons eating here already, and I'm just going to put a couple bones in them, and they'll just be kind of drifting side to side eating. Boy, I can say butthole, just not anal. Oh, hey, what's up, Chaos Loner? You came in the right time when I'm talking about hoo-ha bleaching. Yeah, so my character is toon shaded with hand-drawn textures on it. If you go back to a couple of my live streams from the week or two ago with this guy's in the thumbnail, you can kind of skim through it if you want to see how I textured him. But I went in here and I hand textured the line art and painted on the colors. And then I put a real basic toon shader for just the light and shadow. That's it. And then I put an outline around him. And so it's a very, very basic toon shader. And let me get this noodle bar thing just a little bit more forward. All right. There we go. Let me grab it. Oops. The guy who comes up to sit down, he's going to be right here. Yeah. I mean, I want to look good in everywhere, you know. I mean, if you look at everywhere, then they look down there and it's just a horror show, then you're ruined. Okay, let's see. So yeah, so as I was saying, I'll add him in. I actually have another shot where I've already got the guy coming in. Here, I'll show you guys real quick. This is what the scene's going to be going into. I will export this guy and bring him into the real scene for now, but the scene's a bit heavy, so I didn't want to do it in there because I won't be able to play it real time. But this is the scene he's going to be coming into. One sec. So this is a little sample of the short I'm working on. Winning. Yes. Okay. So yeah, Chaos, if you're wondering too, this is what I'm basically doing in this live stream every week. Is I'm kind of learning as I go. I'm trying to demo some specific things, but also sometimes, especially as time goes on, I'll probably just go stream for a long period of time and just work on shots in Blender. And what I'm doing is I'm streaming, working on my animated short, which is an intro to my world of The Last Secret Agent Man. And this is an intro. It's a music video for a band called the Pomades, which is a fictional band in the short. And it's like a music video for one of their songs, and it showcases all the characters. And what's happening at the beginning, before the concert starts, it's basically this guy walks into a concert, and then the concert starts, and there's a big fight that's going on outside. But the secret agent guy is disguised as this weird old man, and he's sneaking up to spy on this rockabilly guy at a noodle bar. And so as he's walking up, he smells the noodles. He's like, oh, that smells good. Oh, yes, I must get some. Yes. So here he goes. He's going to walk over there. And there's the Sulung Tung bar, as you recognize. He's going to head over there. Yeah, so he's walking up. So this is the shot that the guy's going to go into. And he's spying on this guy. He's called the Big T, a.k.a. the Torso, because his torso is gigantic. Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah, this is going to be pretty much that style as the music video, this whole short. So I actually was already working on this short, and they saw it, and that's how I kind of got that AWOL Nation gig. So yeah, this guy sits here, and what he's going to do is, I have some other motion capture too of this guy sitting down, and he forgive the animation here, but yeah, so there's the torso that he's spying on, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna order my food, and then he slaps that guy on the back, and it's gonna put us, yeah, so this is my really old version of the guy we just created. This was my placeholder. Whoops, where'd it go? Sorry, this program doesn't rewind very well. So yeah, there's the guy. He's going to slap him on the back and put a little sensor on him that'll track him. So yeah, this is my terrible version of him. But now I got a good version that I can implement into these shots. And I also have some animation of him going, yeah, I'll have one. No, two, yeah. And then he looks around, and then he's going to look at the guy beside him and go, hey, and like slap him on the back. And then this guy gets pissed off like, dude, don't touch me. And then he gets up and walks away. And he's going to walk down the street into the Rockabilly Club. And it's a big, long walk down the street. Yeah, so there he's slapping him on the back. And yeah, he walks down the street into this Rockabilly Club, and that's when the concert starts. And then they play their whole song, and it's a big concert. And that's the bulk of the short. So this is just sort of the intro to it. So yeah, just to kind of give you some context again, this is the shot that I'm building right now. So as he walks up, we'll go to this front wide shot and just picture the guy in the dreads here welcoming him in, saying, hey, come in and sit down. He'll take a seat. Yeah, and he'll be like, all right, here you are. What are you going to have? You know, and that's this guy here. So picture our guy sitting right here that we just saw. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Miyagi. Yeah, you want some food, huh? Well, you can have some in a bit. We're doing motion capture right now. My cat is meowing up a storm. He's hungry. All right, so yeah, he's gonna oh, whoops. Oh, sorry. I screwed up the positioning of this. Hang on. Cool. Thanks, Gus. I'm really excited for people to see it. It's really cool and fun, I think, visually. So, it's very synthwave styled, futuristic city, and I'm scoring the whole music. The band that this is a music video for is a fictional band that plays. They basically score the whole show, but it's really just me. But it's a techno rockabilly style music. And let's see. There we go. Get this signed up. All right, there we go. So just put a keyframe just to make sure it doesn't move. All right. There we go. So yeah, as the guy is walking up, you'll see he's gonna walk up and be like, "Oh, hey, come have a seat. Yeah, come on. Yeah, hey, welcome to my noodle bar. What you gonna have? What you thinking? I mean, I only serve one dish. Oh, you want that? All right. It's a great choice. All right, let me make it for you. All right, we walk over here and do something. Wave to someone to make it. I was talking earlier too. This is meant to sort of be a pitch for an animated series originally. This will be sort of my proof of concept, but it's all based around this guy, the last secret agent man, and he's a guy who has superpowers based on a belt that was given to him that gives him superpowers, but he doesn't really know how to use it because it was given to him on the deathbed of another secret agent. So he's fumbling around, sort of like the old show Greatest American Hero, trying to use it. And the series will just be sort of Samurai Jack style. It'll just be him battling different gangs with different powers each week. And one of the gangs will actually be this guy's gang. He actually runs this noodle bar, but the women will show up later. He has this group of girls who work here that wear these red hats or in these purple outfits, and they're actually assassins. So, you know, they're disguised as waitresses here, and they just think, oh, it's like his harem of ladies for this douchey dready guy, you know, serving noodles and stuff. But actually, they're like this really cool, tight-knit team that can just murder people on the quickly. And they know all kinds of martial arts. And there's no projectile weapons or guns or anything. It's all hand-to-hand combat. Everyone has staffs, blades, weapons. I don't know if I'll explain why, but I just don't like shooting things with guns and lasers. It's no fun. I like people to fight, like Kung Fu. So every fight will be people using swords, guns, knives, hands, everything. So, right. So yeah, this is looking pretty good. So I think the last step I'll do here before we sign off is just kind of show you can make it all into yeah, this is where we're going tomorrow, Nina. Yeah, it's Sulungtung is, this is how you spell it, but this isn't what it looks like. It's not an outdoor bar. I will be. A lot of this one is actually just hand-to-hand combat fighting. Because later on, there's a guy with a big giant mace that he can see. He's like this big brute fat guy, and he can like slam down this mace that like just makes giant craters in the ground. And but everyone else is kind of hand-to-hand combat. He's gonna go into this rockabilly bar, and the guys, a whole group of rockabilly guys will come out and start chasing him and try to beat him up, and they try to dogpile him and punch him. I was trying to see if I had the explosion here. Yeah, here's another demo too. This is one of the this is the bass player from the band. He'll be playing in the bar when you go in there, just to give you a little showcase of some of the stuff. So yeah, he plays a big double bass, and then there's a little short guy who's the guitar player and singer. Let's see. This is some of the background characters walking through the streets. A lot of this stuff I don't make full tune shaders. I just draw them with grease pencil or as on cards in Photoshop, and then I do real simple animation in Blender. And let's see. Yeah, here's the thing I show from the intro, but this is Secret Agent Bob when he's not in disguise, the main character from the show. Doing some karate moves, yeah. And then, let's see. Oh, nice. Got a Rococo too. That's super cool. Yeah, those sensors are sensitive, man. I might have to send in my gloves to fix the thumb sensors. I'm having a bit of an issue with those. The wire was too short. But when I got my suit too, I first got it and the cord going from the main pack on the back up to the first sensor was too short. And so it busted the first time I put it on. So I got the suit, wore it once, and had to send it back, and it took like 2 months to get it repaired. No, I didn't send it back. They sent me a repair kit, but it took 2 months to get it. But then I fixed it, and it's worked great ever since. So it was worth the wait. So, all right, I'll stop showcasing too much here. Oh yeah, here's the guy he's tracking. This is the torso. Here's some more MoCaps. This is my Rococo suit on him, but yeah, he's doing some Tai Chi here. Yeah, they sent me a repair kit to fix the cable instead of sending it in, which at first I was like, are you kidding me? I have to fix it myself. But it was actually really easy, and it took so much less time than sending it in. So I actually, in hindsight, I prefer that they did it that way. So they have the sensors set up in a way that you can pop them out and put it in really easy. Yeah, the bloom's awesome. That's one of my favorite things about Blender, and I love synthwave and futuristic stuff, so. Oh, stuck in boot modes. That sucks. You haven't been able to reset it or anything to get it to work, huh? I had that happen once, but I got it to work through a reset. Oh yeah, the guy I was talking about who he's kind of the main protagonist who's gonna fight my secret agent in the short is this guy. He's the guy with the giant mace. He doesn't have it in here, but this is what the guy looks like. I call him the machinist. Here he's singing some opera in his off time when he's not hunting secret agents through the city. Yeah, that could be cool. I mean, we might not even need these suits pretty soon. I know the Xsense has just the bands you can wear now that work pretty good, because there's a VTuber named Code Miko who uses those, and it actually is pretty accurate. And yeah, eventually we won't even need suits, but I've had my suit a couple years now, so at the time it was like the best option, and especially for consumer level. But man, it's advancing so fast. A year or two from now, it'll be pretty much obsolete. Which is fine with me. I hate having to put on that whole suit. It's a lot of work build up. Okay, so I won't waste too much more time here. Kind of showcasing a couple things, I think. Yeah, here's him. He's gonna walk into the bar. This is where the concert's going on. This is just a sampling, but we'll go in here, and that's where the show's going on. You can kind of see in the background the band name. Yeah, so there's the band. There you go. So yeah, this is what the band looks like, just so you know. And this is the crowd. They're jamming out. So, and this is all mocap on these guys. Actually, except for the guitar player. I hand animated the guitar player, but everything else. Oh yeah, and the bass player. But the drummer, he was mocap. So, oh wait, no, this is all keyframes. Sorry, I've re-recorded some of this stuff, but yeah. Anyway. But I don't want to spoil too much of the short and show it all. It's hard to not show it all now and jump the gun. I'm just really eager to get it out there. All right, so last thing here is I am going to take this guy's joints here, and I'm just going to put some step keyframes on him. And I think pose mode. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I think this should be the one, yeah, with the guy moving with the dreads. That's what you want to see on the screen now. I am going to put some step animation on this guy. So, I think, some see-through here. And do a little experiment here. I hope this works. We will see if I can bake the animation on the head here. I just need to deselect these head joints. I don't want these. Oopsie. There we go. Select that. Yeah, the Rococo's cool though. It doesn't work in, well, I mean, with Unreal. I have a friend who's doing it who actually bought the suit before me, and after I saw how well it worked for him, that's when I went ahead and bought one. And he was using it on Unreal, and it was working great. Blender's a little slow, but because Rococo has the live stream into Blender and Unreal, and the one in Unreal works great. So you can just put your character in here in your scene and start animating in your suit real time and just hit record, which is great. It's a little too laggy in Blender for some reason. I think my scenes are a little heavy too. But the problem is with these scenes, I'm not using Unreal yet because it's not as flexible for my style for all this toon shading and stuff, because I'm also tweaking real time in here, and I'm using a lot of that bloom, and I'm hand texturing, and I'm also using grease pencil layers to draw effects and other little things on top of my characters in the finished shots, which it's hard to get away from using grease pencil, and they don't have that in Unreal. So, but I gotta start learning Unreal just for professionally here soon anyway. So, because I mean, I need it for my job by the end of the year. So. But hey, definitely hit me up offline, Chaos, too, especially once your suit gets fixed. I'd love to talk shop and see what you're doing too. Or maybe give me a follow. I'll follow you back if you got stuff on your YouTube to check out. All right, so let's go to Bone Dynamics Pro, and I think I can just bake the animation here. Right. Yeah, and you can actually animate in there now. They have a control rig you can do, which is great. I'm just I'm too deep in on this, so I think this one I'm gonna keep going with Blender and experimenting, and then I'm gonna start messing with little smaller projects in Unreal in tandem with this as time goes on. I'm just waiting here right now. I'm baking the animation onto the hair bones so that I can bake all the animation on this character on 3s, so it'll be sort of like stepped animation, like Spider-Verse style, which is the style for this whole show. I'm not sure how long it takes. I've never actually baked the bones. I've only used the dynamics, so hopefully this doesn't take 5 years. Do 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 do. Let's see. But I do like this channel. I don't know if people can hear it, but Lo-Fi Girls Synthwave channel. She's working away with her little kitty cat here on the table, sort of like me. I got my little kitty cat right over there. He's chilling. Hey, Meowgie. What? He thinks I'm giving him food. That was a bad idea. Oh, nice. Dude, Chunking Express is the best. I love it. Yeah, it's a great combo because all my textures are hand-drawn. So if I just put a very simple toon shader with the outline and my hand-drawn textures, and I have it step animated on 2s or 3s, then it looks really convincing, like closer to 2D art. It's great. So, man, this has taken a long time. I apologize for that. I hope it's not crashed. Well, you know what I might do? Might be crashing on me. Well, in the meantime, I am going to reopen it. I might just be. I mean, we're pretty much done with it here. I'm just going to do that for fun to put the Let's see. Oh, there we go. It's done. Yeah. All right. Now let's select all the joints here. Now this could take a while too. But let's just do 460. Actually, what I'm gonna do is, yeah, let's just bake it. I could use the modifier, the step modifier, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna bake it. All right, let me save as baked. Okay, save. All right, last step. We're gonna bake this animation. Go into animation. He's not moving super fast, so I'm actually gonna do it on 3s instead of 2s. Maybe. Well, he's got all that hair movement though. Let's just do 2s for now. Unless I'm doing really fast action though, I'm gonna go with 3s. I tend to find unless you're doing really fast movements, it actually looks cooler as 3s in past experience. So I'm just gonna go with that for now and see how it works. All right, let's do it. We're baking. There we go. All right. Baked on 3s. And then interpolation mode, constant. All right, let's see what happens. There we go. We've got stepped animation, boys and girls. Yeah. Yeah, 3s actually worked pretty good. It could actually maybe even be on 4s. Cool. Well, I'm happy that hair joints worked too, because I've never actually baked the joints, so that was my first time trying. On the stream last week, I was trying to get the dynamics to work on the hair in real time, and it wasn't quite working either, so it's all been a lot of first times on here. But yeah, thanks for sticking with me and while I got it to work, and yeah, it's a great success. Let me see, I'm gonna do one more thing here. Gonna make it a little bit moody. Turn on the lights here. Gonna go out of pose mode. A little light, yeah. An area light. Thanks, dude. Yeah, it's fun too. So you turn off the shadows. There we go. Get some mood lighting going. See, 500. Ooh, no, let's get it kind of moody colors too. He's got those blue bars just like his hair, so the whole thing sort of lit that color. Get it a bit like that, yeah. Doesn't reflect on him, but that's okay. Okay. Yeah, it's cool. Oh, and if you'll see here too, Nino, I did a 3D scan of actually what we're going to eat tomorrow. Let me turn off the lights for a sec, but if you're wondering why I'm talking about Chaos, Nino, he's an old coworker of mine. We both live here in LA, and this whole thing here, it's a Korean food called seolleongtang, which is my favorite food, and I have my favorite restaurant here in Koreatown. And I did a 3D scan of what the soup actually looks like. So this is what we're going to be eating tomorrow, Nino. We're going to meet up. I know, right? Talk about meta. So yeah, that's what it looks like. It's a bone broth soup with some rice noodles and meat, and then you add a bunch of green onions to it and a little bit of salt, and then you eat it with a kimchi over here and some gakdugi, which I haven't put in there yet. And yeah, and it comes in this big stone pot, and it's delicious. So I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, I forgot that I'd actually 3D scanned my actual dish before I ate it the other day. So I'm not doing it now, but I was gonna do a whole animation of the guy prepping it too, because it's a whole thing where you get the soup, you put your onions in, you put some juice from the gaktuki in it, you put your salt in it, maybe some pepper, and you stir it, and then you know, I was gonna do like the whole process, like a close-up on his hands using my Rococo gloves, but it was gonna take forever, and it's so not the point of the whole short. So yeah, dude, we'll talk MoCap, Optitrack, Rococo, and Sulungtung. It's gonna be great. All right, so yeah, let's turn the lights back on here too, and then I have, let's see, one more light here for the people that walk up. Do another area light. Let's see, Skelix. Light these folks here. There we go. Get a little more of a neutral light on them. Maybe a purplish light. Yeah, that kind of looks cool. There we go. And you turn it off. And yeah, awesome. I'm very happy. So yeah, next stream I might actually put him in with the scene with the other character, and I'll finish animating these people, and it'll actually kind of finish the shot, because I have a surface here too that has raindrops falling on it too, and then I just comp in some rain layer on it, and then it looks pretty good. So all right, so there's your Sulungtung noodle bar with, of course, your standard paper lamps, all my little textures here. I'll probably change this stuff up to back here too, because this looks a little too 3D. So once I do the final shot, I'll put some actual drawings back here of plates, or just toon shade them or something. But even got the kitchen back here if we want. Making some broth. I don't know what that is, but this is where they make the bone broth right here. This is where it happens. Marinates for days. Nothing down behind the counter though, as you can see. It's empty. So just his fancy boots. All right, so yeah, one more time here. Let's play through and see how it's going. Yo, what's up, man? Let's actually, here. Let me go back here. Go to my camera. Let's get a real shot going here. Do some cinema scope here. Like we want to go all Spider-Verse, we're gonna do it in cinema scope aspect ratio here. Let me pick the camera here. There we go. Now we got a real shot going. Bring the lens up a little bit. Let's do 80 millimeter there. Yeah. See, this is looking... Let me see if I can... Sorry, bear with me here. This was all based on a drawing I did. I'm not sure if I have it here. 2 seconds. Bear with me. Let's see. All right. Okay. Just looking for something off screen. I have my concept art here. Maybe not. Let's see. Two more seconds. It's not there. See if it's on my art station. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. I think it's on here. I can open it up. here we go. I can just download it. Downloads. Oh yeah, I had already downloaded it. That's so stupid. All right. All right, it's almost here. Almost got it. Ramen bar. There we go. That was the original drawing I did like 2 years ago or something when I first started working on the short. So this is what it was based on. And this is what we are kind of ending up with. We're almost there. So the lighting's a little different. But and there's the guy, even his a different outfit there. And he was a white guy at the time, but still has the same dreads and still has the blue bars and same artwork, you know, on the place. So oh, you can't. Oh, hang on. Sorry about that. Let me go to the there we go. Sorry about that. I had the wrong display set up. Hang on. I think it should be. I'm a little bit ahead of you guys, but it should be popping up any second here. I'm watching a stream as well off to the side. There we go. Yeah, I had OBS set to just show the Blender window. I forgot, but I also have one that'll just show the whole display, so I had to turn that on. It's just I think I'm a minute or two ahead of the stream. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, and I took some. Yeah, I actually took the exact characters from this and cut them out and put them in the scene and some of the artwork, and then I modeled it to look just like it. Excuse me. But yeah, and like I'll probably just draw the background things like this. I gotta get some chopsticks in there, but wanted to get all the characters in there moving too. So, but yeah, and then there we go. And yeah, this is this dude. That's the secret agent guy in disguise who walks up and sits down. The only difference is this guy's one more seat over because the torso guy's sitting here that he puts the little sensor on. But yeah, there we go. And yeah, I, much like my cat, am hungry because I haven't eaten since lunch. It's been a busy day, but I'm gonna chalk this up as a success and tune out here in a sec. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. All right, let me go back to here. Hello, it's me again. Well, thanks all for coming. Let me, here we go. There we go. Got some music. Actually, let's do this one here. There we go. All right, there we go. Well, yeah, thanks for coming, everybody. I appreciate it. I hope it was fun. Hopefully I didn't fumble around too much and make it boring, but yeah, I appreciate you guys, especially you Chaos and Nino, for chatting and hanging out. I love just talking shop and talking Blender and stuff. So, yeah, this is actually a this is the Sci-Fi Pilot song that I did my first music video for, which is also on YouTube and is also released by Miole Music on their label. You can actually find it on Spotify and Apple Music under Ginger Bear is the artist name, and it's called Sci-Fi Pilot. So yeah, and then here's the guitar player singing, or the bass player playing. That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, and this is it. I love writing music and making music videos for it. So all right, I'm gonna let this play us out, and I'm gonna try to start streaming at least once a week. Sometimes on the weekends I might just do a non-announced stream and just stream just while I work in Blender without like a specific focus or demo, just working on shots. So keep an eye out for that too, and I might do a duo stream on YouTube and Twitch. So anyone who's watching or watches the replay, just give me a follow so you'll actually get an announcement if I go live, and then you can kind of come in and just watch me work on shots, ask questions. I am always happy to talk Blender, get off on a tangent away from what I'm working on. Yeah, and you know, maybe I'll even make some music on stream. Who knows? I'd love to just share the whole process of making the rest of this short too, so it's gonna be fun. Thanks again, everyone. Talk to you later, and I'll text you in a moment, Nino, and we'll hook up tomorrow and have some Sulung Tung for real. All right, thanks all.